everyone, welcome back. And we have another third year project team here. And this is Cetacean Studios with their game. What is your game again? There we go. So you want to quickly run around and introduce yourselves, so your name and what you did for this project.
Yeah, so I'm Amelie. I was an environment artist and kind of tech artist on this project.
I'm Lamis. I was in charge of art direction and I did character modeling and UI.
I'm Toby. I did the programming, the systems, and sort of the team management for the game.
Brilliant. So just to start, if one of you wants to give me a sort of general elevator pitch, a couple sentences, what is your game?
Ambertide Bay, it's a sort of cute and cozy Nintendo DS inspired aquarium game where you go out and you dive underwater, catch a bunch of fish, bring them back to your aquarium, and talk to a bunch of customers about your tanks.
Right, and so what sort of was the general first steps and the ideation behind what you decided to go for?
Um, well, I remember at the start, it was I wanted to do something that was underwater. And that was the only thing I really cared about. So then we gradually got people who were interested in diving underwater, and it gradually formed into this Nintendo DS inspired thing, mainly because of when Lamis came in.
Yeah, because initially you wanted it to be like 2D pixel art, right?
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
pixel artist, so I was like, okay, I can do that. And then we were like thinking about how the game would look or how you would control it. And we were thinking about like 3D underwater diving. I was like, okay, I can do low poly with pixel art textures, so just kind of 3D version of that. But yeah, the prompt was dream job, I think,
Yeah,
for
Dream
the
Job, and I think
yeah.
Fix It as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's giving me sort of like you get that with like Nintendo DS, like the old Animal Crossing type,
Yeah,
those
exactly.
sort of vibes. Yeah. So if we want to quickly get into this and
Yeah.
start the game,
So we've got full save file support, so if you're playing it at home, play it for as long as you want.
perfect. So I guess do we have like an opening narrative here?
Yeah, so this is a little bit of an opening narrative telling a bit about Spoon. We're not a very story-driven game particularly, but just to give a bit of context. So you've moved in from the city, um, and you've moved to this small town of Ambertide Bay to set up this aquarium with this diving and aquarium bureau, DAB, not the fish, not the maneuver. Here we go. So I'm just going to quickly go into the settings and change a few things. I think we're a slightly outdated build, but that's no worries at all. So here we can see this game's made up of like two main halves. So there's the interior of the aquarium here, which Amelie, you can probably go into a bit of your thought process of making that.
So initially we had this like massive floor plan for the whole aquarium that was done by our concept artist Rise. But as always with games like this, there was issues with scope. We were like, I don't think we're going to be able to do the whole thing. So we focused on having three main areas. So the first one's the reading room that we were in at the start, which gives a kind of like more homely kind of vibe to the aquarium. Yeah, with bookshelves integrated into the tanks. Then the second one's more of a traditional kind of aquarium, and that was all fully textured by Rise, and the walls and everything. I modeled it, but she textured it. And it's got like a kids area and stuff. Yeah, just over there, and like little octopus chairs as well, which I think are really cute. Yeah.
And then they draw the fish inside of it.
There's events on our calendar as well
Yeah,
for stuff like
exactly.
that.
I can put that one up for you.
So is it like sort of over time that all these tanks are gonna fill up with what you catch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then yeah, the third room is meant to be like a jellyfish room. And that big main tank is kind of designed to hold the big compass jellyfish that you can catch in the game.
Is that like the big sort of end fish?
Yeah, exactly. So everything unlocks as you go through the game. We're not going to get to unlock everything probably in our time frame.
Yeah, you get
Um,
decorations in the tank as you unlock them as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it looks a bit less empty.
Yeah, because the idea is you're meant to get this sort of progression as you get through it. So here we've got the introductory NPC from the DAB. He's going to tell you a little bit about just what you should be doing next. Obviously, he notes that your aquarium is very empty currently. So in a minute, we're going to go outside and catch some of those.
So I guess where did the sort of idea come from then to have this sort of collectibles game of capturing and collecting fish?
I guess it goes hand in hand with the art style, right? Like games like Animal Crossing, where it's the kind of casual gameplay is kind of just collecting things rather than winning something. Like we have journal entries you can look at with like different achievements, so you can unlock new locations or new tanks for your aquarium.
I think also part of it was for like demo day and for the expo. I remember last year I found the most fun in playing games that were more like cozy games, and they had that just shorter experience where there was less pressure.
Mm.
And for me personally, I was like, I'd really like to make a game like that. You can just kind of pick up and leave off. There's no massive pressure to, 100% it or
Mm.
anything like that.
Outside there.
Although we have had a few people do that.
Is that a difficult thing? How many fish we got?
I think there's 7.
Like
There's
7 so
different at the
far.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are plans to maybe add a few more
Mm.
after.
Yeah, we were low on time.
Yeah.
Because, I was making the cats and the fish and the UI, so I was like, I didn't have time to.
No,
I
it's
didn't want any
paid
fish I
DLC.
wanted.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So here we've got the first underwater area. These underwater areas are mostly collaboration between Alex, one of our programmers who did a lot of the design environment art stuff, a lot of filling the gaps, which was very useful. And I did quite a lot of the sort of graphical stuff, so the water shaders and seaweed effects and stuff like that, and the winter snow. Um, Saffron did the initial concepts for each of these areas, yes. Saffron Nielsen are one of our concept artists. So underwater here, there's a bunch of things you could do, but you open the bag up and you go up to a fish and it starts this catching mini game. And the general gist is they get their own little rhythm mini game for each fish, and you have to put the A button as it goes over each of them, just to very simply catch them. Because we want something that's quite simple and easy for kids to do. Although this one's quite difficult.
But as you catch more fish, there'll be more information unlocked in
Yeah.
your Fishopedia, and these are all real fish as well, so all the information is also accurate. So
So we've got 7 fish total currently, and on the post-it notes there on the bottom right, as you catch more of the same one, you'll gradually get more and more knowledge of it. And it's sort of the idea of an educational game for kids to learn a bit more, or maybe their parent is playing it with them, and then they can read through it together.
So, what was the sort of decisions on which fish you were going to use?
because I modeled the fish, but I honestly just asked Toby like, "What fish do you like?"
Yeah.
He was
What
like,
is
"Oh,
the
I
best
really like,
fish?
yeah."
I'm the fish guy. Um,
I guess, okay, out of all the fish that you've put in this game, which one is your favorite?
Oh, mine's definitely moon jellyfish.
Moon
Because I already
jelly.
like moon jellyfish, but that was also the fish that was quickest for me to model. I think I did it in one day. I was like, this is great.
I think I like the gourami because
Mm.
it's got this fun fact about the gourami. Unfortunately, we couldn't put it in the game, but in real, it's a very common aquarium tank, like a personal aquarium fish. When you've got it in the tank, if you've got an open lid, it likes to spit water out, which can be quite annoying because it's originally a hunting mechanism for them.
The squid.
The
Mm,
squid,
oh, I do
yeah,
like the
Really
squid.
cool.
but we'll see the squid shortly.
Yeah. Because Toby, you did the animation for it as well, right? So it kind of just jets along the bottom of the sea.
I spent a little bit too long making the animation for it.
But yeah, the squid's in this sunset area.
Yeah,
With
so we've got
the-
the second major area
Mhm.
here.
So, I guess, are there any plans for you guys to sort of add maybe some more fish, some more mechanics for different fish? And
We were talking about more fish. There was an anglerfish we wanted to add in the luminescent area, like a really big anglerfish would have been cool. But yeah, more fish. I can't remember what else we wanted to add, but
We were thinking maybe a few more NPCs as well,
mm,
because there was a few concepted that we never got the chance to fully make.
mhm.
General, just small improvements over the game, adding a few more features. Because the game was sort of a big focus was trying to create something that could be expanded, because it's obviously in this sort of very Stardew Valley Animal Crossing inspired world where you play those games over a long period of time. And it was a big focus for us with like creating a save file system and creating a calendar so that the player could play this over a long period of time. So as much content as we can add, basically, and we've built the game in a way where we can add more. So be on the lookout for that.
yeah, you've definitely got like a good concept here, and it's just slotting in the more fish when you're ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got the third major area over here. I'll go over to
We're gonna do a dog DLC.
a dog DLC.
Instead of playing as a cat, you play as a
What do you
dog.
think the dogs would catch?
I don't
Bugs,
know.
bugs.
I don't think dogs care about fish.
I do bugs, bro.
But
And
yeah, this is my favorite area.
Yeah, this is probably most of the team's favorite area. A lot of work went into creating this one, lots of different visual effects and stuff. I wonder if we can spot him. Yeah, over
Was
The
this
whale.
definitely
the whale.
was this the hardest of the three to make?
We spent most of our time on this one.
I really enjoyed making this one. what I
Yeah.
remember. They
Yeah.
had like a lot of passion for making
Mhm.
this area because also the whale in the
Yeah.
background, we implemented that. It's like you can just see the massive shadow of it in the
Yeah.
distance. That was really fun
I really
working
like
with Alex.
these pixel art
Mhm.
bloom-filled plants because we originally didn't have pixel art ones, but I
Yeah.
think the change to pixel art is very pretty.
Mhm.
And the idea behind this area is it's very bioluminescent. You've got a lot of these jellyfish, glowy plants and glowy fish, and it's going to really light up quite a dark underwater area. Because we don't want to create anything like scary. We want the ocean to be like an enjoyable experience. And I think a lot of people have this fear of the deep ocean and the dark. So we tried to create it very cute and calm.
So yeah, so is that like sort of your main one of those like core design pillars for you guys is to sort of get people more engaged in the ocean and sea life. And
I mean, I think we did talk about that on our pitch because one of the questions like lecturers had was, are these going to be real fish and is this going to be accurate information? And we have done that. So
Yeah, it's kind of my big guiding thing just as a developer. I want to do ocean stuff. I want to get people interested in the deep ocean, the underwater, anything like that. All my projects are based on the ocean. So
yeah, what was how come? Do you have like a sort of background in those sorts of things or
it's
just an
just
interest?
my own personal interests. I grew up in, seaside towns. I'm in a seaside town currently. I've never really lived inland, so it's always been going out fishing, crabbing, doing this and that, and it's a really important thing for me. And I'm also just very interested in it. So we've got a full net now, so we can head back and probably customize our tanks. We've probably got some
Mhm.
unlocks.
Remember those little stars that we implemented as well in that area to kind of guide the player
Mhm.
towards where to go? Because I remember me, Saf, and Lamas were walking to the GA. We're like, "How are we gonna do this?" Remember, Saf was like, "We should put yellow paint everywhere where you're meant to go." Like,
Underwater.
no.
Because they actually came up by accident, right? Because that animation was meant to be the fish catch one, but
Yeah,
it didn't like read that well. So Alex just put them in the environment and they looked really
yeah.
good.
And I think it really subtly guides people towards where they're meant to go
Yeah.
without being too much like, "Hey, you need to go
Mhm.
there."
So we've got each of the different tanks we've unlocked, and you've obviously seen that they've got some decorations in them now, of all of different sizes. So we can put our salmons in here, maybe. Try and keep it all well um, balanced, not throwing everything into the same tanks, just to create it as pretty as possible. We get some people playing it and they just get as many fish as they can, throw them in, and that's completely fine. That's a play style.
No, I don't respect that.
So I guess does each fish there have its own sort of like value of how much it takes up in a tank?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. They've got their own like movement parameters and stuff like that as well. I believe we've probably only unlocked those few because we've only played underwater a little bit.
You can check your journal to see
Yeah.
if you have tanks to be unlocked.
So yeah, these ones here on the right, the ones that have the destination icon unlock an area, and the ones that have like this tank icon will unlock tanks. So if we get, there's one fish we missed, the compass jellyfish, that would have unlocked
Mm.
a tank. So we can go to the next day, end our day for today. We get a little recap of everything we've done. So we've caught quite a lot, 8 fish, and we got all those achievements, and that's the end of the day. We've saved the game at this point. So theoretically, if we exit
I
out,
hope this
I won't
works.
exit out the game entirely, but if we exit out and go back in, all the changes we've made to the aquarium will be saved. So you got all the tanks, the data's the same, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're at home playing it, don't
Hey, drop
worry.
the cocoa.
Oh, I
You missed
didn't.
the NPC.
I'll quickly.
Yeah, so who is that little NPC that we just ignored?
So
We did ignore the
we've
NPC.
got a couple of NPCs in our aquarium, and they have different events on the calendar. So
Yeah.
like it'll be like coloring in, or like reading, or like different aquarium activities.
I was going to very
Um,
quickly catch the last fish.
yeah, but all of our cats are the color palettes are based on ice cream flavors. So the main character is Neapolitan, and the one that he just ignored was mint chocolate. Um, and that's why a lot of the UI is also very like pastel and like pink. And I think it is very reminiscent of like Nintendo DS type of UI as well.
It also just adds to that like cozy vibe as well.
Yeah,
That's great.
Because I know you were very inspired by sort of that cooking mama sort of
yeah.
thing. I do want to give a shout out to the music. If you
Oh
want to talk
yeah,
about that, Emily.
yeah. So Lewis Gasby, one of my friends, he made the music for the game. Um, we had a bit of a struggle with the music, and I came to him like a month before the game was meant to be finished, and I was like, "Could you possibly make something kind of quite pixel sounding, quite ambient for our game?" And then Alex, our person who was just doing a bit of everything made a sound document that had a lot of ambient Aphex Twin kind of Plantasia, a lot of those kinds of ambient tracks, and we sent them over to Lewis. Was like, would something like this be okay? And he was like, yeah, that's awesome. And he sent us over some tracks that were broken down into the different instruments, so all of the music is dynamic throughout the game, right?
So if we go into the pause menu, you'll get a lower intensity version of the music. When you're catching, it gets a bit more intense because it gives that sort of flow to the game, I think.
I think the music's very like nostalgic sounding.
He really smashed it out of the park. I think he
Honestly,
did an
yeah.
amazing job.
So it's very like, when you used to play games on your DS when you were younger. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of that. I think he did a really good job.
I'll just go to the next day so we get another NPC in, hopefully. I think today should be an event, theoretically, yeah. So we've got the Raspberry Swirl Cat in doing their reading event today. So they get a different book each time, and they're going to have a different little bit of dialogue for each of them. This one's very much of that sort of character, which explains the slightly grating voice.
So I guess run us through what sort of all the different events mean for the player.
I guess especially, I mean, theoretically, as the aquarium gets expanded and you add more fish and you have more tanks, there'd be more like NPCs coming in and your aquarium is more popular. I mean, we didn't fully implement everything we wanted to, but that was the kind of idea behind it.
I guess what sort of things are left on the floor for that?
Just more like NPCs, to be honest, and more events.
Yeah, I think I personally like the idea of them being guided by just wanting to see these fun events, rather than like a mechanical, you get this, you get that. They can maybe get some decorations and stuff, because we did have for a while this decoration system half implemented, but because of the stability of it, it wasn't very stable, so we went, okay, let's cut that for the end. So theoretically, you could have these events give you some decorations for the tanks, or give you some stuff like that, which would be a nice thing to add in the future, I think.
Yeah, it definitely just adds to the more you play, the more you catch.
Yeah,
the more you
exactly.
built up this room. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd be fun to watch your aquarium expand and watch more people come in. I guess like Animal Crossing, where you start with a tent and then you watch your house get bigger.
I was going to say, it's like the events in Animal Crossing as well, because they don't serve much actual functionality, but it's just like a cool, fun thing that goes on. It's like, oh, okay, so I feel like more integrated into the like community and world building of the game.
Rather than progressing through like a level. Or...
And there is the space to add all that.
Yeah,
so we can add all that if we wanted. So if anyone wants that to happen, let us know. Get us motivated. Leave a comment on it or something.
Yeah.
There we go, so we've just got another achievement. So these pop-ups that come up are the completion of the different achievements in here.
And you've also got your inventory where you can release your fish back if you want.
Oh yeah, you can release them into like different areas from which you caught them.
Can you?
And they're lost forever.
So the other day I accidentally like
you've just ruined this fish's life.
Yeah, I released the salmon into the sunset area. I'm like, he's got no friends. He has no idea what's going on.
So I'll ask you guys, what do you think each of your favorite parts to work on throughout the project?
For me,
you got yours,
I just love UI. I was obsessed with doing the UI for this game. So that was my personal favorite. I mean, I do love the cats and I do love the fish. Fish especially because they're so quick to model. The cats are taking me ages. But for me, it was UI. I think it's also a really fun way to reference like DS style games or older games with that 2D pixel art, like nice chunky like pixels and fun colors. But yeah, that was my favorite.
I can guess what yours is over there.
I was going to say it's more like of the tech art stuff that I managed to do in the game, because I was the sole environment artist, but I kind of want to do tech art in the future. So at the start I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get in all of this like 3D modeling, but then as we had that more stability in place and Alex started doing more of the exterior environments, I got to focus more on implementing some stuff that just looked like added to the vibe of the game.
It's like the focusing in when you catch a fish.
So there's a vignette that I implemented that I had to like custom downscale in a shader that was really fun. Me and Toby were trying to figure it out for a whole session. So that, and then the filling up of the water in the tanks as well. That was really fun to do.
And I mean, you made this scene entirely.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did all of that, and I made a triplanar shader as well for the environment. So for the land, so that it's grass on the top, and then on the sides it's dirt, and then on the sand it's yellow as well. So everything's the right color.
Which was very like a short hikey, wasn't it?
Yeah, inspired.
Especially the
downscale
as well that we've got. Yeah. I think I'm very similar to Amelie. I'm like these transitions. I really like working each of those transitions. I'm very focused on this graphics programming, technical art side as well as the systems. So I think my personal favorites has been working on this save system. I don't get much of a chance to work with sort of data-oriented programming as opposed to fully in-engine stuff. So it's really nice to be able to do that. In the future, it'd be nice to like make a scheduling system with XML and then tie that all in really nicely. But there's never enough time, is there?
I suppose, so obviously you've had a lot of fun making all these elements, but is there anything that maybe was a bit too annoying to make, or maybe you're banging your head a bit?
I was banging my head a lot on stuff.
I mean, we did want a bigger aquarium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, the
Yeah.
program was new for you, isn't it?
Yeah, so we used Blockbench to make the environments, and then Lamis did as well for the characters. Lamis is like a pro in Blockbench. I had never used it before, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
used to the
actually a
Maya
Minecraft
workflow.
editor.
Yeah.
But you can use it to model anything really, and obviously you can implement it into games. But I
Mhm.
mean, you did improve a lot though.
Thank you. Yeah, but getting used to the workflow
Yeah.
was just like it was quite difficult, and trying, because I do like tech art stuff as well, trying to make sure stuff was like optimized in Unity, and trying to use like smaller textures and working with the UV maps, because there's a lot less
Yeah.
Blockbench is a lot less supported and documented than Maya.
Yeah.
So it
We
was
used
really
it 'cause-
painful
Yeah.
to use the Blockbench Discord for help. I was like, please help me.
But I mean, yeah, the main reason we use it is because you can paint textures directly onto the model, so you
Yeah.
can see what it looks like straight away. Because we were initially going to use Maya, and then you'd have to like make the UVs and then draw it somewhere else, and then look at it 2D, and then see what it looks like in
Yeah.
Engine, which is a bit, it's not great, but
I think with the save load system, that was my biggest thing is
Mhm.
every time someone adds something, you have to make sure it's integrated into the save system. Make sure to add it in, make sure to add it in. And sometimes they don't. And there's the decorations as well, which didn't end up panning out.
Oh yeah, I remember that was like a last couple of weeks thing. It was
Yeah.
like this might be in, this might be not.
Because I think it would have been really good. Because I think like people who like these types of games also like decorating and customizing and stuff like that.
I mean, it's got some of the functionality in place for it in the code base, so if there's enough of a need for it, we can add it.
Because it
Yeah.
is your aquarium, you should be able to make it how you want.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you said you have all these fun ideas, stuff you could add. Do you think you are going to stick together and keep working on this game in future?
I don't think
Or other games?
professionally.
Yeah, probably as like a hobby kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Just in our free time, if someone wants to, if Lambs ends up making a fish model, throw it in.
chuck it in, yeah. Because there's been a lot of like really positive feedback from the expo. Because before we were kind of like, we might do it after uni, probably not. But then people have been like, I'd be really interested in playing this further.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, if people are interested, then we might, band together and take it a bit further. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could certainly see this game like a really nice like niche community from like a Steam demo or something.
Yeah. I think it'd be really nice to add some more options of what the player can do.
Yeah.
Because it is, currently you go out and you dive and that's about it. It'd be really nice to sort of expand this town out, have the different areas they can go to with some options of what they're able to do. But that's more of just a theoretical thing, I think. I really like the atmosphere of these outdoor scenes. We cut the music and we just put some ambience in.
Yeah.
And it looks really pretty. It sounds really pretty. It's like a little break for the player in between.
So you have this date system as well. At the minute, it's a Wednesday in spring. How does the sort of different dates and times and seasons affect the gameplay?
So it's very sort of Stardew Valley inspired. So each month or season has a total of 28 days of 4 weeks, just because it turns out that's the easiest way to do it. And then as you go through the year, there'll be different events for each of the characters, different things that happen to you. So you might have a Christmas event or this sort of thing. And we've got a full like event system that makes it very easy to just sort of slot them in once you've made them. So the idea is, very similar to Stardew Valley, where they have stuff like the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies or Christmas or whatever they call it in that. You have, different NPCs coming in. You have like your monthly sort of checkup from the DAB as well.
Because you were talking about like an aquarium ranking as well.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
how you can check how well you're doing with your aquarium. and it's kind of motivation to like catch more fish and organize your aquarium more.
So when I'll very quickly head back and do one more quick day of putting some stuff in the tanks, I think, and we can have a quick look at. I'll show you the calendar when we're
Speed running
there.
through.
I do love those transitions I made for it. They weren't even particularly difficult to make.
I remember at the start, you're like, yeah, it's just a placeholder. And
Mhm.
everyone's like, we actually really like it. So you just kept it in. It was the same. I remember now, actually, it's the same with the outdoor environments.
Yeah.
Is Alex was just blocking them out with primitives as placeholders.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, actually, this looks really nice and it
Yeah.
suits the vibe
Because
a
it's the
lot.
Nintendo DS sort of blocky,
Yeah.
especially because it's like a wider environment.
Mm.
So we can see here, like on the different days, you've got schedules of like Friday, you'll have Coco come in and do the drawing event, and then at the end of each month, you'll have Earl come in, which is this Oreo-inspired cat. He's going to come in. He's from the DAB, tell you how you're doing, and that's where you slot in sort of the ranking of how well they've done, and then hopefully it'd be nice to add some stuff like different like birthdays for the NPCs, birthdays that you can put in yourself, and people come in and they're excited for it, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess one final question. I guess if you're now on the other side of it, how do you guys all feel about the project as a whole, and now that you have this finished title?
I mean, it's nice seeing an end
Yeah,
product after
exactly.
everything. That's the main
I
thing.
think it's probably we had that curve where at the start everyone's really excited, it's going really well. The middle, you're a bit more like, oh
Yeah.
god, oh god, oh god, and then at the end you're like, wow, that ended up quite nicely.
Yeah. Once everyone was like pushing on that final couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
you get so many assets and so many mechanics in, it's like, okay, this isn't bad actually.
Yeah, because I think that last like month, because we only had this module to focus on,
Yeah.
everyone just went all in,
It really
working
came
on the
together,
project
yeah.
every day. And I think it really paid off, to be honest. It improved so much. Yeah.
And then, if you want to sum up the project as a whole and maybe be a few words, 1 or 2 words, what would they be?
It was stressful.
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
I think it was quite enjoyable.
Stressful
to
and
be
fun,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah, because the team was really nice as well. It was a really fun experience.
Yeah, that's sort of the general vibe. Yeah, it's that's the vibe I see a lot with game designers. They're all very, oh, it's very hard, and then at the end they're like, I love my game.
Yeah,
I'm glad I
it's
made
fun.
it.
Because we are like very hypercritical of our work, and
Yeah.
then people come and play and like, wow, this is really nice. I'm like, okay.
I mean, yeah, it's obviously. I imagine it's very rewarding for you guys to be on the other side now and to get this positive feedback because it is an amazing game.
Thank
And but yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. So that's Ambertide Bay. That'll be on the itch.io page and in the Falmouth Expo collection with all the other Expo games. Is there anywhere else we guys can find you guys?
So we all have our links on the page itself, so you can probably find us from there.
Yeah, if you want to look at art stations, you can see art from the game from artist pages. Also linked on the Edge pages. So
Yeah, it's all on the itch page.
All on the Edge page.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, you have your booth, so anyone here in the audience or at the expo, go and check them out and all the other fun games. But other than that, we will be back with our next team very shortly. But thank you guys for joining me.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having us.
Yeah.